How about Devin Lloyd?
Ball's intercepted. The ball is picked off. Are you kidding me? Devin Lloyd bringing it back again. Along the left sideline. 50, 45, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Such an impactful season. What he meant to our end result was certainly notable. The way in which he operated on a daily, weekly basis was really cool to watch and observe. He committed himself to being the best version. The connection between him, the coaching staff was real.
Devin Lloyd picked it off. He's running it back to the 25. Still on his feet. Pulled to the ground inside the 15-yard line. What a play by Devin Lloyd. He takes it away.
A little bit more on the quieter side, early getting to know him, and then you talk to him and you hear a very mature dude, and just he had specific goals that he wanted to accomplish this season, and I thought he attacked it in the exact right way.
Ball fumble. The ball came out and the Jags have it. The ball came out and Devin Lloyd has it. It was a fumble and went right to Devin Lloyd, and the Jags take over. What a gigantic play by the Jaguars defense.
To me, he's just he's a true three-down linebacker. He has a very unique skill set in that he could play on the edge, early down. If you lined him up, outside as an open 5 technique on a tackle or a 9 technique on a tight end, he can do a really good job there, setting the edge, zone dropping, all that stuff. He can play off the ball early down because he sees it pretty good. He can run and hit. He does a good job in the pass coverage.
Devin Lloyd, the takeaway machine, got another one inside the 30 of the San Francisco 49ers.
He entered camp in a position battle, and he wasn't gifted that linebacker position, even though he was a first-round draft pick a couple of years ago. Devin Lloyd has been incredible.
He should probably be Defensive Player of the Year. His impact has been unfathomably important for this team.
That's not just a depoy argument right there. That is an MVP argument.
The ball came out. The ball came out, and everybody's trying to jump on top of this. Let's see who's got it. It's Jacksonville's football. Devin Lloyd's got the ball.
I just want to be where God wants me to be. At the end of the day, that's where I want to be, and I'm waiting on that answer from him. Like I said, I haven't put any thought to it. Everything's been, about trying to be the best player I can be for this team this year, and ultimately, I want to be where God wants me to be.
Now, Jaguars Today on 1010XL with Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and RJ Saunders.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome into Jaguars Today. Use it or lose it with Devin Lloyd there. RJ getting in as many rotations and spins of that one, Tone, before we have to look back wistfully and say, I remember when Devin Lloyd was stalking the defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars out there and making big plays in 2025. I hope it's for more beyond this year. You can't really find anybody that thinks there's even much of a chance that he's going to be back in Jacksonville.
No, not right now. And we'll be out at the Players here in a couple of weeks, and that's when free agency will be going on.
That's right.
We'll be getting answers as we're going through the week out there at the tournament on what's going on with Devin Lloyd and Etienne, who we've obviously spent a lot of the time since the season ended talking about whether or not they can or will or won't, with all these guys. And I think we've all pretty much landed on Devin Lloyd. It seems very, very unlikely. I think there's still a little bit of holding out hope on the Etienne thing, but even that feels less and less likely as we get closer to the actual open of free agency here in a couple of weeks. But we'll see. We'll play the opens with Devin Lloyd, especially with the moments he had last season. I mean, it's ridiculous. The kind of plays that he had, especially that Monday-nighter.
The 99-yarder, probably the play of the year for the Jags, let's be honest, right? I mean, with everything going on at that point, you're still thinking Kansas City may be the cream of the crop in the AFC, no matter what kind of start they've gotten off to. It's not deep enough into the season to have written them off in any capacity, and the Jags went toe-to-toe, knocked them off on that Monday night with that huge game-changing play for all the country to see, and they got to 4-1 after that, I think, is where they were. Should have been 5-0 at that point if they didn't blow
the next week was Seattle,
the call against Travis Hunter in the Cincinnati game. Yep, and then they ran into their toughest back-to-back opponents of the year. So free agency opens up on Wednesday. Isn't it usually a Tuesday?
It opens up on a Wednesday. The tampering window opens up on that Monday.
Has it always been Wednesday in recent years?
I don't think so.
I feel like it's been Tuesday pretty regularly.
But I can't remember. Like, I'm with you. Like, I generally think it's been on Tuesday. I don't know if the tampering window makes them say, look, we'll open the tampering on Monday, so we'll open it up on Wednesday. You know, like, I don't know exactly how any of that works. As if the first time any of these teams talk to any of these players is actually that Monday, right? Like, okay. But at least the tampering window is an official thing with NFL free agency now.
All right. Okay. I wasn't sure about the scheduling. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship will open up the following week after the players. Many years in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Where there was a lot of stuff going on here. In fact, I remember times back in the day, like Coughlin J-Fun Wine Tasting Gala would be on the Thursday or Friday night of the NCAA tournament, and you'd have the TPC. I'm not sure if they all lined up at the same time in the same year, but it was pretty regular back in the day before they started moving the dates all around.
Yeah,
so,
I remember being out there at the players when George Mason was on the television.
Okay.
Right? Like, they were deep. Like, they were playing for, I think, a spot as late as the Elite Eight. And I was out there when I was watching them play a game.
Also, remember being out at the players when they shut down the players for COVID. Oh,
yeah,
man,
that was not fun.
That was not great at all, right? That was who was the guy? Was it Rudy Gobert who had gotten it from when he was on Utah at the time? Had gotten COVID and he had the press conference and he was joking all about it.
Around with the mics,
something like that, right? Like let me spread it all here. Like 24 hours later. They were canceling the Players' Championship.
Sports world shut down.
At least it's. I think that was the timeline. It was pretty close, pretty closely following that action. Today, a little bit of a follow-up for your reaction. Today, we're looking for. Yesterday, we got news just as we were coming on the air that the Jags and the league announced that they would be playing 2 Jacksonville Jaguar home games in London this year, leaving only 6 here in Everbank this season. There are going to be challenges for the next couple of years. And yeah, well, it stinks that it coincides with the Jags getting better, sure. But, you know, they could also be terrible. I mean, like, I'd rather them be good. You can't control what comes after these next couple of years, right? You can try to set yourself up for success, but I just take advantage of them winning football games, whether you can be, look, you're still going to be happy if they win road games, right? And regardless, they're going to win. They're going to play on the road. They're going to do what they're going to do. But I understand how, different people and in different circumstances are going to feel different ways about it. So that's our question of the day today, just your overall reaction. We got some of that yesterday, but we didn't. I thought about making it in a poll form. I think there's too wide a range of reactions to try to narrow it down. So just give us your thoughts on that. In however many characters, 280. What do they allow you these days?
140, I think.
It was one. Is it still 140?
I believe so.
All right. I thought for some reason it doubled at some point in time, but I could be wrong about that, man. Keep your tweets short and just give us the gist of what's going on. Mike DiRocco is going to join us to get things rolling here in a few minutes. We'll take your calls throughout if you want to get on board on the Key Buick GMC phone lines at 641-1010. Same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Find us on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at R has no J. Oh, yeah, RJ Saunders. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, fellas. What's the haps?
I don't know. You tell us. What's going on? Everything good?
Yeah, but I did have like a crazy, maybe like a stupid question. I don't know if the NFL does this. Is there such thing as sign-in trades? I mean, if we're talking about like Devin Lloyd, could we sign him to a contract and then trade him to another team for assets? Could we do that like the NBA does over the summer, like where it's a sign-and trade type of a thing? Guy signs the contract, but it's also with the intent that he's going to
you could do that. You could sign a guy and then trade him. Now, I don't know if there's a moratorium on, like in the NBA, there are certain things you sign a contract, you're not trade eligible for X amount of time. I think you could do that. The problem is all the complications with dead money. Okay?
That's
because you sign a guy, and the way his contract is set up, as soon as you trade him, you're going to accelerate all that spread out cap hit into this year.
Right.
And you're going to end up in a worse cap situation than you were when you began.
The reason why I asked it was because the linebacker from, I think, the Bears, the Bears said that he could seek a trade.
Tremaine Edmonds,
yes,
I think.
so I was saying, like, oh, what if we did like hey, your guy for my guy? Well, you can sign him to an extension.
In theory, you could do something like that. In reality and in practice, I think the salary cap would be too prohibitive. To come up with a contract that satisfies what he gets, that is going to get a player to say, I'll take myself off the open market. Like, if I am Devin Lloyd, unless you think the Jags have the ability to pay you more than the team you're going to sign with, why wouldn't I just sign with that team and then they wouldn't have to give up an asset? Like, why am I going to help you if I'm not going to be here? Unless there's a now in the NBA, you can sign your own guys for more money than other teams can.
Right.
So there's an attractiveness to doing that. But I don't think we're gonna have anything even approaching that.
I'm still holding out hope on this offshore account that we give like Devin Lloyd.
Is that right?
Just a little, we give him a contract.
You got to get out of this NBA mindset,
something,
man.
Hey, it's out there, kind of.
We may have played like the LA Clippers at times over the years, but we are not the LA Clippers as far as that goes. All right. So also, realizing yesterday we didn't really even scratch the surface on some of those proposed rules changes. We might get into that a little bit. That was yesterday's question of the day with the UFL. Instituting some really wide-ranging rules changes. We asked you which one of those would you be most in favor of the NFL adopting, so we'll circle back to that again as well. We'll take a timeout right now, though, and welcome in our good friend Mike DiRocco from ESPN's Jaguar coverage coming up on the other side with Tony Smith and RJ Saunders. I'm Mike Dempsey. Buckle in. This is Jaguars Today for the next 2 hours on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Duval Ford, the best selections of trucks in Jacksonville. Yeah, Duval Ford's got them. They also have fantastic mobile service. Have to thank them for the great job they did coming out yesterday. Took care of my car and a lot of our listeners' cars as well, and they can do that. They'll come to you with the same pricing as if you brought it to the dealership. Yeah, they've got a fantastic showroom and a fantastic service department, but Ford Mobile Service comes to you. Go to DuvalFord.com or stop by 1616 Cassett Avenue today for big number 1. Duval Ford.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
This organization, do you know what it's called?
Its name is
1010XL.
Hicken here. Experience crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Jaguars Today, Thursday, is brought to you by
Cannons of Jacksonville.
The riders who face Daytona Supercross are built different. Withstanding the most unforgiving and grueling track is not just a point of pride, but of pure grit and determination. This battle can only be felt in person. Witness the action unfold at the only place in Florida where the biggest names will battle it out under the lights. Daytona Supercross is built different. It's built for champions. It's built for fans. The gate drops Saturday, February 28th. There's only one place to be. Secure your tickets and trackside access at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services, and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? It's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto tap the equity on your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Prosser here. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto in a matter of days. They had $160,000. They kept their 3% mortgage intact, didn't even need an appraisal, and with all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it too. LoanPronto.com, the rapid equity loan program, can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it. Consolidated all their high-interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine, pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier. Get your life back. Interest rates are at 3-year lows. Call Loan Pronto today, 904-999-1500. That's 904-999-1500, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, Mike DiRocco is back in the house, or at least telephonically in the house with us here on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith. Good morning, D-Rock. How are you?
I'm well, fellas. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. Mm-hmm. Are you well? How's your injury healing? You okay?
Yeah, doing all right now. Still wrapped up, but
okay.
Took a peek at it last night. Looked okay.
Okay, I'm not going to get into the particulars of it unless you do. I know you're on the mend right now.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm careless with a knife and thought hacked off the top of my thumb. So,
dang it.
Yeah, not real good. Not real good.
You and Ronnie Lott, man. You guys are. I've always said.
No. I still have the rest of my thumb.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So, yes. So,
yeah. By the way, Ronnie didn't lose all that much of that finger. Like
No.
I met Ronnie Lott a few times.
Joint or something. Yeah.
It didn't even go to the first. It was more like, I feel like it was like halfway down that joint.
And he said since he's like, I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, like it was really dumb. Like for folks who don't know, Ronnie Lott, what was it? The story was he wanted to play. He was injured and wanted to play in a playoff game or a regular game. They're like, I don't know if we're gonna play. He goes, that thing's got to heal, and he's like, just cut it off. And so they did, and it's not as much as you think. It like you said, I always grew up thinking D-Rock that he had like one full joint missing on the finger, but we're glad you're on the mend and going to be okay. So happy about that. D-Rock, let's start with this because I guess it's the freshest thing. Jags announced that they're going to play 2 games in London. If you'd been paying attention, you shouldn't be surprised at this, and you shouldn't be surprised when they announce they'll be playing 3 there next year. But in terms of competitive balance, Mike, how much of a disadvantage do you think this puts them playing only 6 games in Jacksonville in 2026?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're not playing in your own stadium in familiar conditions and in front of your home crowd, I mean, you would always prefer to play there. So what is that? That would give them 11 essentially road games if we're counting those 2 London games as road games. But the interesting thing that Mark Lamping said yesterday was that the football staff is going to have some input on possibly who they're able to play in London. The Jags are able, NFL teams are able to protect 2 home games.
Mm-hmm.
So they can submit a request. The league doesn't have to grant it, but generally if they can, they do. So But Mark Lamping said yesterday, the football staff will have a lot of input in that because maybe they feel like there's a certain matchup that they would much rather have here in Jacksonville as opposed to flying over to London. I don't know who that is. Is it Houston and Indy because they're division games?
Right.
Is it New England because, that's one of the best teams in the AFC and you'd rather play them here, for tie-break purposes, give you a better shot to beat them here? I mean, I don't know. It just depends on what they're thinking. But, it's not ideal. But, again, there's going to be some trade-offs for this new stadium, and this is one of them. And, again, in 27, like you said, they could play up to 3 there. So if that were to be the case, then I wouldn't be surprised to hear that announcement about a year from now.
Yeah, like so many things that go on, especially coming up on draft time. Like it would be lovely to be in the room for any of the conversations that everyone's having about these things. I would love to be in the room when the conversation is had about what games they would most want to protect, right? Because it does feel like a few years ago with Philadelphia coming to town that there would be a lot of fighting to protect Philadelphia here, because they know they're going to get a crowd for the Philadelphia game. Well, they're going to have a limited crowd anyway. And I look at that schedule where the games they could potentially lose, it's like Philly's at the top of my list for the ones that I would like to see sent to London. I don't care about the Eagles coming here once every 8 years or whatever. That doesn't affect me at all. And it's the game that has the least impact on their long term in 2026, given it's an NFC game. But I don't know exactly how the conversations in the room about that kind of stuff even might go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, for me, if I'm the Jags, I'd send Cleveland over there. I think I can go over to London and beat the Cleveland Browns. I would send that one over there and take that one as a W. And then, the other one at Tottenham, maybe you send the Commanders, or like you said, maybe you send the Eagles. I would think it would be an NFC game. If they're sending one AFC game over, I would think it would be an NFC game because, like you said, the tiebreakers against the AFC teams are the ones that really matter the most. So, yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. It'll be interesting to find that out, over the next month or so, kind of maybe what they're thinking, see if we can get a little bit of insight into that. Again, it does make sense. I heard someone on the radio yesterday mention Houston. That makes sense. You want to get them here in your city, make it a terrible, road game for the Texans. Have a great atmosphere here. So, we'll see how it works. But those are going to be fun. It was really funny. Mark Lamping was like, hey, I don't want to disparage any previous regimes by any stretch of the imagination because that's not what we do here. But, boy, the communication with this football side and our side is really, really, really good.
Yeah, which, as soon as you say I don't want to do that, everyone reads that as you doing exactly that, which
no
fine.
Disrespect intended,
right.
And then followed by disrespect.
As MJD's favorite thing, as long as you say no disrespect, you can get away with saying anything to anybody. Doesn't matter how disrespectful that was. Mike, as we're just a little ways away from free agency here, what percentage likelihood do you give the Jaguars to retain either Devin Lloyd or Travis Etienne, and which one would be more likely if either?
Yeah, I'm still probably up there around the 95% that they don't retain either. But if they were to retain one, I would probably lean towards Travis Etienne. But I still don't think they retain either one of them. I think if you're Travis, you want to test that open market. You definitely want to, Devin Lloyd, I don't think they'd be willing to invest the money that Devin Lloyd would want to get or would be able to get on the open market. And if you're Devin Lloyd, you don't really want to take a hometown deal because it's still fresh in your mind that this is the team, the franchise that didn't believe in you. They didn't pick up your 5th-year option and you have one good year. And now all of a sudden, hey, we love you. I think that's something that you would probably consider if you were Devin Lloyd a little bit. But yeah, Etienne would be the guy I would think that would be the logical one of the two that they could re-sign. But I don't see it either. And maybe I'm wrong with that one, but I don't see it.
With the odds in your mind being whatever they are of Etienne being back here for the Jaguars next year, how do you expect the Jaguars to address running back in this offseason? The plan with or without Etienne, what does that look like?
Well, I think if he's not here, I think that becomes a position that they would like to address in free agency. And there's a lot of guys out there. I don't feel like Kenneth Walker would be at the top of their list there. But a guy that, and this is, I'm not breaking any news here, but a guy that Liam Cohen is exceptionally familiar with, Rashad White, is available. Already knows the offense, wouldn't be a problem to fit him in there. But look, they drafted Tootin and they believe in Tootin. So he will have a significantly increased role. It'll be, I don't think we'd see next year what we saw this year, where it was, 80% Travis and 20% the rest of the guys. I think it'll be closer to a 60-40 split with Tootin and whichever back they bring in. They'll draft a guy too. I would expect them with 11 picks or however many they end up. I would expect them to take a draft pick and use it on a running back in one of the later rounds as well.
Mike, right now, most of the league's head coaches and general managers are in Indianapolis for the scouting combine. We understand the Jags not doing it and the reasoning behind it. Do you think there's anything they're missing out on not being in that environment?
All the workouts are taped and on-field, interviews are taped. The Jags do have people there. It's not like nobody's there. Their medical staff is there. They've got scouting staff. They've got personnel staff. They are talking to players, and there will be videoing. They'll video those interviews and send them back to Jacksonville, and James and Liam Cohen will be able to take a look at them. So I understand why they're not there. This shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who was paying attention. I think they were pretty open about last year. They went, obviously, because it was the first year, and then James Gladstone was hired like the Friday before the combine started.
Right.
So they went because they really felt like they needed to. They were behind the timeline, and but they, I thought they were pretty transparent about that. Probably was not going to happen in the future. I think it's more of a big deal to me that they didn't do top 30 visits last year, and they probably won't do top 30 visits this year for the same reason that they're not in the combine. Those two guys, James Gladstone, Tony Baselli, and Liam Cohen are not at the combine. They don't want to be influenced unduly by a meeting with a guy who maybe is cranky. It's his fifth interview of the day. He's prepared for it. They've been training these guys, the agents have, for months about how to handle these interviews and stuff. They don't want to be swayed by anything there that possibly could override the year's worth of work that they've done, in scouting. So, but for me, I would like to have the guys in my building because you can get them in there all day, and your assistant coaches can get hands on them, a little bit better of a chance to kind of get to know them a little bit. You're not bringing all 30 in at once. You're bringing smaller groups in. I think that, to me, would be more valuable than the 15-minute interviews at the combine. But, I don't believe they're going to do any top 30 visits this year. If they do, it'll be very, very minimal. But that's something that I think is probably more valuable than the 15 minutes at the combine.
I know the last time we had you on, I asked you about who you thought would have the bigger impact between Milam and Ransaw going into year two for themselves. We saw Travis Hunter during his rookie year. They got what they got before the injury happened with him. Brian Thomas Jr., obviously his sophomore season, very disappointing with what we saw from him as a rookie. With the rest of the options that you see on the roster, who is your early favorite candidate for the most improved Jaguars player in 2026?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I would probably, I think when Travis Hunter gets back on the field and with the knowledge that you are our cornerback one, and you're going to mainly be the cornerback one, and we need you to be cornerback one, and that is what we want you to focus on, and we're going to mix you in a little bit on offense. I think that will allow him to really take a big step forward as a corner and be the player that a lot of people expected him to be as a defensive back, when he was coming out. I think most people agreed that he was a better defensive back, better cornerback, had a chance to be an elite cornerback, in the NFL, and could develop into a really good wide receiver. So I would probably pick Travis Hunter. It's hard to pick Ransaw. Well, I mean, technically anything he does would be improvement because he wasn't able to do anything last year. But I also think Bajal Tootin is going to have a chance to step forward and will be a guy that will step forward with a bigger expanded role. I think we saw towards the end of the season that he can really be a guy that they can count on in between the tackles as well. Maybe there was some doubt about that, but he showed that he could handle that no problem. But, so those two would probably be at the top of my list.
All right, D-Rock, last one for you. Confidence level that Brian Thomas Jr. will be a part of this football team when September rolls around?
95%.
Okay.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think they're shopping him, but, it's out there. People talk about who might be available, could use change of scenery, that kind of thing. If somebody came along and offered any first-round pick for Brian Thomas, straight up, whatever it is, 32, Seattle, do you think the Jags would do it?
Whew, I think they'd seriously consider it. Depends on who's on the board when they're doing, because that would be a draft day trade.
Right. That
would be one of those, and I think it would be more the other way around, where the Jags would say, okay, it's the 29th pick. We really, really love this guy. We know there's no chance we'll get him at 56. No chance we could probably even move into the top of the second round and get him, then maybe they would make some calls with stuff like that. But I totally expect Brian Thomas Jr. to be here next year.
All right, fair enough. D-Rock, heal up, man. Get that thumb back in shape, and we'll go out there and play some bad golf together.
Yeah, I can practice putting right now, but that's pretty much it. So I will take your money on the greens, and you'll destroy me literally everywhere.
I was going to say, you could use it. You could use the practice. I could use it too, bro. Trust me. Way out of shape right now in terms of the swing. All right, Mike DiRocco at ESPN DiRocco on X. Check out his great work over at ESPN.com and frequently here as a contributor on Jaguars Today as well. D-Rock, thanks for the time, buddy.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, there he goes, Mike DiRocco of ESPN on the Jaguar beat. Tony, deal being agreed to. Nothing can go down until the league year opens up on a lot of these things, but one deal going down already being agreed to at Indianapolis. And these are the kind of things, like, if you're there as the GM, can you get involved in some of this stuff a little bit more easily when the rumor mill and the stuff is getting cranked up? I know James Gladstone's capable of picking up a phone and talking to anybody in the league from anywhere. It doesn't really matter. But is there something you're missing out not being in kind of the petri dish of all those guys bouncing ideas off of, oh, you've got this, we've got this, what do you think of this? We just saw one of those go down in Indy. We'll discuss that when we come back. Take your calls as well at 641-1010. How do you feel about the Jags playing a pair of games, home games, in London in 2026? Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and RJ Saunders here with you on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller. I'm starting to realize being a homeowner isn't all upside, Jason.
I mean, it does give you a place to live.
Yeah, but now suddenly I need to know the names of all the people I need to look after my house.
Like who?
Like if my air conditioner breaks in the middle of the heat wave, I need to know who I call to fix it.
That's me. You know me.
But what if my water heater dies or my toilet backs up?
That would also be me. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
Okay, fine, but what about my duct cleaning and my water filtration and my sewer drain? Where am I going to find all those guys if something goes wrong? I'm just a guy with a house and a dream and...
This pair of sunglasses.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing is the only name you need to know. Our club members even get 2 free visits a year, so you know we're there when you need us.
Well, that's cool.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
You're locked into Jaguars Today Thursday with Cannons of Jacksonville. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
It's time to upgrade your ride and trade in your Tesla for luxury with a brand new Cadillac EV.
At Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, we have over 30 Cadillac EVs to choose from.
Feel the power of instant torque and enjoy the range that takes you farther.
You love your Tesla, but it's time to elevate your ride.
Trade in your Tesla today at Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com.
You pick the color and drive away today.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
The road to March runs through Jacksonville. The 2026 Atlantic Sun Conference men's and women's basketball tournament is coming to VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Catch all 24 Division I basketball programs in action March 3rd through 9th. Reserve your seat today at asunsports.org/tickets. Jacksonville is the destination for ASUN basketball. Get your tickets to the 2026 Atlantic Sun Conference men's and women's basketball tournament today. asunsports.org/tickets.
Discover downtown Jacksonville's newest go-to spot. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville brings you 2 floors of over 80 self-pour craft beers, wines and cocktails, plus live sports, live music, and private event space. And right next door, Pizza Dynamo fires up made-to-order pizzas, slices and calzones packed with bold flavor. Pair a pint with a fresh pie at Pizza Dynamo and Pour Tap Room, downtown at Laura and Forsyth.
This is Frank Frangie. Over the past 11 years, the weight loss industry has seen it all. New medications, fad diets, sculpting. Yet Awaken 180 still stands alone as the proven solution for lasting weight loss. Results at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and if you think Closets by Design is just closets, you've got to see their brand new showroom at Phillips & Emerson. It's amazing what they can do. See for yourself how they custom design organization for any space. Garages, laundry rooms, bedrooms, even the man cave. It's all about smart storage that fits your lifestyle and budget. Schedule an appointment to meet with a design consultant and tour the showroom for ideas you can see and touch. Start at closetsbydesign.com.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Jaguars today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Tony, anybody left on the Jets that you would like before they ship them all off?
Well, they're still, looks like they're going to be holding on to Breece Hall, right?
Are they tagging him?
They said they will if they don't get a deal done.
Okay.
Like, that's been
I mean,
I
don't need to spend more money on Breece Hall than it would cost me to sign Travis Etienne anyway.
Like, it's that, but that would be the player that I might have interest in. Obviously.
We're running out of guys.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Garrett Wilson, but we're pretty good at wide receiver, right? We don't have this.
The cost on that would be more than
I'm just saying, either way, I just want to know because Connor Hughes, who covers the team, said Jets are not having a fire sale. But Jermaine Johnson isn't the only player available. Well, he's no longer available. He's been shipped off to the Tennessee Titans. In an interesting move, Tavondre Sweat, who was a second-round pick of the Titans a couple of years ago, graded out very well at PFF overall, had an 83 overall grade.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
And they shopped him 1-for-1 for a guy that Robert Saleh had and played really well when he was there. Jermaine Johnson's had a lot of injury issues in his time.
Was it the Achilles a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think so. And but he was really good under Saleh. And, you know, he's been hurt more often than not, it seems like.
Yeah, made a Pro Bowl year too, didn't he?
Great,
now, that's always hard to tell how many guys said no, and you eventually got into the Pro Bowl. Like, that stuff's a little weird.
But you can still look at the numbers and see he had some good productivity as a sack guy, you know, outside linebacker, sack type guy. But his overall grade this year, 61 compared to Devondre Sweat's 83 plus. Played about double the snaps because you rotate your defensive tackles a little bit more. So maybe a little bit more pass rush for Tennessee, a little bit tougher to run on.
Yeah,
or
I think
easier to run on.
Like from, we went over the ESPN article earlier this week where they had all the positions ranked, like as far as availability for options you're looking for in this offseason, right? And edge was the deepest position, and it's kind of odd to me that Tennessee would trade away a good young interior defender for an edge guy in a market that feels like there's going to be a bunch of those guys available, and they have more money than anybody to go after it. Right? Like, it just feels like a bit of an odd deal from that perspective to me. It makes sense to me from the Saleh is comfortable with Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's bringing in one of his guys that he feels like can install something for him specifically. And there was an opportunity to go get him. But the optics of it from outside of that kind of perspective are a little bit weird to me.
All right, a little bit weird because the lights just dimmed on us.
Yeah.
Right here in the studio, but they came back. Yeah, I don't know. Look, pass rush is important.
No doubt.
Devondre Sweat's more of a run stuffer. He's had 3 sacks in 2 seasons, so he's not a big, crease the pocket guy. But you knew that when you were drafting him. And Saleh, he had 7.5 sacks in that year where he made the Pro Bowl. Like you said, how many guys declined or withdrew? I don't know if the 7.5 sacks got him in on the first run through. My guess is no. But he looked like a guy who was on the rise, then missed all but 2 games in 2024, came back and played in 14 games this year, but was not as explosive, only with 3 sacks. And I'm sure Saleh's thinking get him another year further removed from injury, and we'll get him in here. So we'll see Jermaine Johnson a couple of times for the foreseeable future.
They picked up the 5th-year option on him last year. He's going into year 5. So right now he's under contract for one more year.
That's right.
Right? Like,
and Sweat would have been 2 more.
Yeah. Like, it's just okay. Like, Saleh's betting on a guy he likes, but I don't completely understand it from a Titans perspective.
And maybe they feel like, you know what, we can find a run-stuffing defensive tackle. We've got a penetrating defensive tackle. Now, if we get an edge guy to pair with him, that's more important. Like, we've had Devondre Sweat next to Jeffrey Simmons for the last couple of years, and or at least the Titans have. And in studying that, here's how effective it's made everybody else. How overall good was the pass rush? Probably he feels a little balance having something coming off the edge as well is going to help. But anyway, this kind of goes back to what I asked Mike DiRocco, and I've been talking about this week. These are the kind of moves like you hear, oh, so and so is available, and like you're rubbing elbows in the bar at the end of the day, and all of a sudden the deal gets made, And again, it's not like if the Jags went to the combine, they'd be guaranteed to make any deals. I just feel like I wonder if there's not some benefit to being in that environment. You can be in that environment and not do these 15-minute interviews if you're really that worried about somebody swaying you off of your film study. Just don't do them, or be a little bit more disciplined in how you approach them. But again, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but this is one we'll circle back to if they don't get the kind of impact out of their rookie class, or if some things on some of these rookies fall through the cracks. Yeah. I'm not saying you're guaranteed to find out any character flaws in a 15-minute interview in Indianapolis, but I do think that for me personally, I'd rather be there than not. I'm not saying you can't be successful. Clearly, the Rams have been successful, and they've followed this pattern for the last few years of not personally attending with the head coach and the general manager. So it's not the end of the world. I'm just curious. Things like this. I'm not saying Jermaine Johnson and Devondre Sweat would have been on the Jags' radar necessarily, and you're not going to often deal with a division team. It's just that these kind of things pop up. You hear a guy's available, and then all of a sudden, like, critical mass feels like it gets reached in this environment quicker than, just randomly calling around the league and letting it be known. This is the, hey, this is the people ask you, what's going to happen to so-and-so? And you give like a vague answer, and you're kind of signaling to the league, come and get him. And they don't have to go anywhere. They're right there with you. And they kind of bump into you, and these things happen and germinate that way. Anyway, that one went down, or at least was agreed to. Again, nothing is official until the beginning of the league year. We got to take a time out here because we're getting behind. We'll come back. We'll get to your calls for the first time today. And also, interesting anecdote for Tyrann Mathieu Tyrann Mathieu, when he came out in the draft in 2013, said he had his strangest experience at the combine with the Jaguars staff. And we'll let him explain in his own words what that was all about back in the day. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and RJ Saunders here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Catch Gators basketball on 1010XL.
The smoking hot 7th-ranked Gators get the top 20 Razorbacks at the O-Dome. Saturday night at 8 on 1010XL.
Here's hoping for a raise the roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Jaguars Today Thursday is hitched to Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
The Jacksonville Icemen are in town for a pair of games this Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, it's Military Night, presented by the Nimnick family of dealerships, as we honor our military, and the Icemen wear special themed jerseys. Then Sunday at 3, it's a Publix Family Fun Day. Take a shot on goal on the ice after the game. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksonvilleIcemen.com. Or call 904-602-PUCK. Iceman Hockey is #Sub-Zero.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts.
And at 1010XL.com.
Trained by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Something new is swinging into town, and you're invited. Pine Royale Golf is celebrating its grand opening, February 27th from 11 to 3. Come tour the property, enjoy free limited play on the Trackman driving range, plus giveaways, contests, and free snacks. Dress in your best funky golf style for photos and prizes. Take a shot at the $500 hole-in-one challenge. It's golf, games, and good vibes. Search Pine Royale Callahan to learn more.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
It's Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you to stay ahead of prostate, bladder, and kidney health. Get a yearly checkup, ask about a screening, and make self-checks a habit. To make an appointment at one of 4 locations, visit AckermanUrology.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, continuing along here, wrapping up hour number 1 of Jaguars Today in a few minutes, as we'll go to the phone lines for the first time. If you want to weigh in on anything Jaguar-related, NFL scouting combine, free agency, just a couple of weeks away, and, of course, the decision and announcement that they'll be playing 2 home games in London in this season, and that likely means 3 next year, although they haven't spoken publicly recently on that. We know that they have the ability to play 6 home games in their stadium lease refurbishment agreement with the city, 6 of those in London in a 3-year period, and this will be 3 in 2 years, leaving 3 remaining next year. And where are they going to make more money, Tony, in Orlando or in London?
Right.
I'm going to guess London.
Like I chalked that up under the same category of they haven't officially said it's going to be Orlando, but it's going to be Orlando, right? It hasn't officially been spoken yet by the league, but that's where they're going to be playing in 2027. I think it's pretty safe to assume, and it's pretty safe to assume they're going to play 3 of those home games in London when they do.
Yeah, no doubt. Also, before we go to the phones here, in regards to this trade from the Jets standpoint, second pick in the draft, Paul Kaharski, covering it from the Tennessee angle, speculates maybe this means the Jets are locking in on taking an edge player with that second pick in the draft. Because, all right, we can get our run-stuffing defensive tackle here, and if we think Arvell Reese is going to play best as a rush linebacker, which he himself says he thinks he profiles best as, maybe you're starting to see the first couple of picks in the draft come into clarity right now with Fernando Mendoza and Arvell Reese potentially. All right, let's go to our man Cody out in the Midwest to lead things off today at 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines. Cody, good morning.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Good. What's up?
Oh, nothing much, guys. One of the best times of the year, the scouting combine. Can't wait to sit down and watch a little bit of drills and all that. But I was just going to see if you guys had anybody in particular you guys had your guys' eyes on in the scouting combine.
Yeah, I don't really, in particular, I'm not a scout, watch college football that I could tell you who the best group of edge rushers in the second and third rounds are likely to be. I will watch it more from the standpoint, Tony, of what they're saying about which position groups are the deepest and how that matches up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, look, I think last year going into it, we said edge rush would probably be a position that they'd address, and they didn't. No. I mean, it's hard to get a feel for what this team is going to focus on because they've shown you even if they have a great need, if the value doesn't match the pick that they have, they're not going to just fill that position. So for me, I'm just probably curious about a number of things, including all the defensive line positions, cornerback. Who are the linebackers that we hear about that, we're doing these mock drafts on the last few Mondays, and we're seeing some interesting names at the linebacker position be available at pick 56, at pick 81. Are they really coming out of the combine? Are they likely to have maintained that level of interest, or has that risen to the point you can write some of these guys off? So my focus really is on defense because I think that's where the Jags' focus is going to need to be. I think when you come out of this, the whole draft and free agency, the Jags might not have a single new starter on offense at all, other than running back, who is already on the team. Okay, when I should have meant they're not going to acquire a new starter from outside. I think it's very possible that Bajal Tutin is your starting running back, but pretty much whatever combination of receivers they put on the field to open things up, it's going to be guys that are already here. Same thing with your 5 offensive linemen. What's that combination going to be? So I'm just much more interested in hearing about how these defensive playmakers fare and how deep those positions are.
Yeah, it's the edge guys, right? Like when I tune in for the combine here this week, the edge guys are who I'll be most focused on when they're on the field. And it's not like with my own eyes that I can tell all that much, but I'll be listening for the conversation around them, right? And the kind of traits that are seen in these different players as we go through the process here and get more and more into it. It's really difficult to pick what position the Jags are going to address at 56. And because it's at 56, it's impossible to know who's actually going to be available to them, right? Like it's just hard to figure out what exactly that roadmap, that map's going to look like. So it's going into the combine even, everything I'm looking for is going to be so broad that there's no one or any small group of names that I'm necessarily all that worried about hearing about. It's more the general conversation about some of the spots that I think the Jags will address at some point in the draft.
Yeah, there are a few interesting guys. Like, Derek Moore out of Michigan, who yesterday Cristiano hit me up, shout out Brazil, with a DM. Adam Schefter reported that Michigan defensive end Derek Moore strained his hamstring 2 weeks ago, will not run at this week's combine. It's funny. You hear there's a school of thought that if you don't think you're going to show well compared to the other guys who are right there in the same circumstances on the same running surface, that you come up with a hamstring strain. And that is a common trope that you'll hear about. And
why wouldn't you use it?
These guys go out and they'll perform at their pro day, and it's on a different surface, so it's more about the eyeball test. You can't compare the numbers exactly the same. I don't know, man. So a guy like that, they're again, edge rushers, defensive linemen, corners who are expected to go on day 2 of the NFL draft will have the most interest from me. Let's go to, man, what is that, Dominique?
Yeah.
On the north side. Holy cow. When did I go blind? I mean, seriously. Dominique, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Bro, I can barely read your name, it's only that I know you call and you're from the north side and that I pieced it together. But I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, MSC? You good?
Doing all right.
Yes, sir. All right, so it's a two-parter. The first one is, I think I heard either you or XL Primetime say yesterday about if they go to London, that the ticket prices in Jacksonville are cheaper. If that's the case, then I'm still okay with them going to London. I don't mind that much. I'm okay with them going to London. But my second question is, I was looking at the free agents, and I haven't heard that much about the draft as far as like tight ends go. And I was looking at Isaiah Likely, and I was trying to figure out, do you think he fits this offense, or is he more like an Evan Ingram who we had to let go?
I do think I do. I like Likely, not to be, no pun intended. I do like him as a player.
I saw the word on him earlier this week is that the Ravens are trying to do what they can to hold him.
They are, and he also thinks he should be a featured guy. I don't think what he's going to be looking for is to be a featured part of a passing game, and I think he's got the explosiveness to do it. Like, he could be like the number 2 option in a team's passing game, and I don't think he'd get that opportunity here. And I think you've got Brenton Strange, who is a good receiver, likely might be a more explosive, pure receiver, but does he give you that element as a road grading blocker on top of all that as well? So I mean, I'm sure you could make him fit into this team and this offense, but I don't think that's where they're going to spend their resources this year.
No, I think everything about what they did at tight end in year 1 in the regime gives you they were willing to move off Evan Ingram. Brenton Strange is our starter. We're bringing in a couple of guys
Quentin
that
Morris
block.
will come back, and we'll get a couple of other blocking types.
Like, that's the idea of what they see at the tight end position. And by the way, it makes sense from how the depth chart of wide receiver looks right now. Like, I don't need 2 threats at tight end on the field for the football team when I have all the options they have.
Right.
At wide receiver, given especially what Brenton Strange gives you as a blocker when he's on the field.
If I thought Isaiah Likely was more like Brenton Strange, then I would say I do see the Jags being willing to play a lot of multiple tight end sets. Right?
Sure.
It's become more fashionable, and it's hard to know as a defender what's coming, run pass. But I don't think he profiles that way. I think he is, I think Evan Ingram's a good example. Play him in space. Split him out from the formation at least 50% of the time, and let him be a red zone threat. He can stretch the field, but in terms of being the guy that makes your running game click.
In Jacksonville,
I don't get the sense of that.
Tight ends are going to get on the field. They don't want guys that can't give you anything as a receiver, but what they want is they need you to be productive as a blocker. You can't be a negative in that area if you're going to play tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they're not playing those guys in space all that much. They're on the line.
By the way, your comment about the price of tickets in Jacksonville, that was not me. I think that was XL Primetime because I heard them discuss it. Let's save that because we'll get to that coming up in the next hour because I don't want to give it 30 seconds of attention. I think it deserves more than that. So I'll keep that in mind, Dominique. Let's get Greg in here quickly out of Jack's Beach. Next up on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Greg.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Here's the thing, and I don't hear any of the national guys in the media really talk about it. I just can't stand the games being played overseas.
Okay.
I just can't stand it. I mean, if you want to play, and I understand the NFL wanting to grow and reach the world. I get it. Then do preseason games there or something. I mean, it bothers me. I'm a Los Angeles Chargers fan, and last year my team opens up in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I mean, maybe I'm an old school guy, and maybe I'm just not thinking clearly, but I just don't like it. I think it steals from our fans here in the United States, and it takes regular season games away from them, and also it puts a tremendous strain on your team that has the travel and the hours and the time. All of that still impacts you when you get back. So I hate it. I don't like it. I wish it would go away. It's not, but I had to vent.
All right, that's fine. And as long as you realize it is not, because ultimately the NFL cares more about the TV audience than they do about the butts and seats audience. And because the TV audience is much larger by a factor of I don't know how much, but hugely bigger. And so they're always going to cater to that, and it is a money-making enterprise. And I don't blame you for wanting to vent, because I think a lot of the points you made are accurate, but I think you also realize it's the reality that we're living in right now in the National Football League. Greg, appreciate the call. We'll come back. Let's get into ticket pricing here in Jacksonville with less games being available, Tony, and what I think is going to happen, at least as a layman on the subject. We'll discuss that coming up next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here talking about a great golf tournament that's upcoming now. It'll be here before you know it with the LPGA Tours Stars of Tomorrow competing at Atlantic Beach Country Club. It's coming up March 5th through the 7th with the Epsom Tours Atlantic Beach Classic. It is presented by Access Golf, and it is the first stop on the pathway to the top 15 ladies getting their LPGA Tour cards at the end of the year. So get out there and get in at the ground floor. Watch some fantastic golf. Support the ladies of tomorrow with the IQ Fiber Linkside Lounge, the best value going. You get an all-inclusive ticket with food, beer, wine, and spirits for only $100. Visit AtlanticBeachClassic.com and use promo code IQ to get that special rate. Friday afternoon, you get a fantastic Fairways to Fashion show presented by Bosco Builders featuring Epsom Tour players and Atlantic Beach boutique stores. Limited tickets still available. Go to AtlanticBeachClassic.com to purchase.
Jaguars today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. No, 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
Does either one of you have anything even remotely interesting to tell me?
Mornings
I know I've made some mistakes in the past. I'm willing to make up for that.
on 1010XL.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein and Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Jaguars today, Thursday, is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy are serving up your daily dose of sports talk specials from scratch.
I didn't know you could.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
These are delicious.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Bro, have you heard about the hottest and newest sports league in town?
Vanguard Sports League isn't just VIP, it's the standard. Smoke-filled tunnel intros, cool benches with canopies, big scoreboards, championship rings, and convenient locations all across Jacksonville. Oh, and mascot potties there hyping everyone up every game. No wonder it's the talk of the town. Spring and summer registration now open.
Search VanguardSportsLeague.com today.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Jacksonville, David Garrard here. If you want a street-legal golf cart that's built with quality and style, check out Dynamic Drives and Designs in Jacks Beach. They have new, used, and fully customized carts from the top brands like Atlas, Dodge, and Pilot Car. Every cart gets a complete expert inspection, so you know it's ready to hit the road. Their team can help you design the perfect custom cart that fits your style and needs. For your custom golf cart, visit DynamicDrivesDesign.com today and see your perfect ride. Let's get ready to rumble. Oh, this Saturday is the River City Rumble. UNF men's basketball welcomes JU to CSI Company's court at UNF Arena. It's a rivalry like no other as JU crosses town to UNF. Be there for one of the biggest sporting events in the city this Saturday at 6. Secure your seats at UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now. UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
Mark your calendar for Friday, April 17th at the Yards for the second annual Birdies and Bounces, presented by the Mackenzie Noel Wilson Foundation. This premier golf and pickleball tournament brings together competition, community, and purpose for an unforgettable day on the course and courts. Proceeds benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida, helping create great futures for local kids. Register or learn more at bgcnf.org and click events. Join us for a day of fun and impact for youth in our community.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish.
Seriously, it was just in my pocket.
Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For honest, professional locksmith service, use Instant Keys.
When it's game time, make feeding the crowd easy. Chicken Salad Chick serves fresh Southern-style chicken salad, flavorful sides, and crowd-favorite catering trays. Order ahead at chickcatering.com or visit one of 4 area locations today.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by Zero Res. Jacksonville hosts Stetson this evening for senior night, aiming to avenge an earlier loss and gain momentum before the ASUN tournament. Listen live at 7 p.m. on 1010XL AM. JU and UNF meet tomorrow night in the Women's River City Rumble. Dolphins lock into a top 4 seed. Ospreys fighting for momentum and bragging rights on the line at Swisher. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 69 degrees at 11:07. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, question. I actually remembered it, Tony, this time, which is quite amazing for me. But question there from Dominique on, with the reduction in games, will the price of the games go down in Jacksonville? Well, I don't speak for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm not an economist, but I will say that if you had last year, because every year you have either 9 or 8 home games, right? This year is an 8 regular season home game year. You're losing 2, you're down to 6.
Yep.
So you had 9 last year. You play one in London, but you also have a preseason home game. So that gives you a total of 9 in Jacksonville, right? 9 games that you're buying as part of your season ticket package. Whereas this year, you're getting 2 preseason games, and you're getting 6 home games, so you're going to be buying 8. So if, at oversimplification, if your ticket costs $100 a game, well, now you're buying one less game. So rather than spending $900, you spend $800. The price of the game is not going down. You just have less games.
Yeah,
I would find it extremely hard to believe when you go and lose approximately a third of your capacity at the stadium, creating what you hope is a greater ratio of demand to supply, the prices are not going down for a single seat. Not a single seat would go down in that scenario. I don't know what they do with the standing room only stuff, like 1,200 of them are going to be standing room only. But it only makes sense if I had 65 things to sell. Now I have 42 of them to sell. And I've got, I don't know, let's say 50,000 people that want to go in either scenario. Well, the one scenario, you're having trouble filling seats. The other one, you don't have enough seats to give away. So the price is I can't imagine. on a per-game basis going to drop for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
Coming off a 13-win season on top of that?
No, I wouldn't expect it to drop. I would expect the prices are going to go up for 2026 compared to what they've been here in the last couple of years, and it makes sense. Again, the supply's a little bit lower, significantly lower, so the demand, I don't know how much it's going to change, especially I would expect it to go up. The team's good, right? So the demand is going to go up. I think there is at least the chance, because of the limited capacity, some of those factors that even with some of the premier teams that'll be coming in, it may be harder for the visiting fans to find seats. Right now, fans that have tickets may be able to sell them for more than they've been able to, even when the Jags are good, right? Like in recent years. So does that mean that Pittsburgh fans and Patriots fans that are just here, that only get to see their team play whenever they come to Jacksonville, are they willing to pay that premium to be there? Probably. Right, so I think there will still be Jaguars fans that can sell those seats specifically for a little bit more money than even they typically could. But I do think it'll affect the number of visiting fans that'll be able to get into the building.
I hope so.
Right, because of the price that's going to be on there. And most of the tickets aren't even going to be out of the hands of, they're going to be in the hands of the fans already before you even start the process, compared to typical years here in Jacksonville, where they're just kind of available in a market somewhere. The team's good. There's fewer seats. There should be fewer visiting fans, I would expect, in the stadium this year, even with teams like the Steelers coming to town.
Right. And I don't know. And I did hear them talking about it yesterday, so I'm not going to speak for XL Primetime. They can weigh in on this more if they want to. But when I heard that, I thought, well, I mean, again, the price of your ticket package may go down because you're getting fewer games.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, and then that's if everything stayed flat, 8 games compared to 9, you're going to pay $800 compared to $900 on that example I used. But the actual price per game, I don't think is going anywhere but up. You would just think you got, and guess what? That's probably going to be the trend. I don't know what they're going to do with the pricing in 27. They're not playing here.
Right.
But you think they're going to open up a brand new place and the tickets prices are going down? I would say no.
I would doubt that.
So it'd be great if that resulted in ticket prices being cut, but that would kind of defeat the purpose. Look, they're playing the extra game in London to make up the shortfall of the fact that they're only putting in 42,000 people compared to 67,000 people, or whatever the exact numbers are. We all get the rough idea of that. They're trying to make up that shortfall. You're not going to create a bigger shortfall than by lowering the prices of the tickets that are more in demand.
No.
So, again, maybe total package for your tickets will be less because you're getting fewer games as well. Again, just going through it last year, that the one preseason game had the 8 games here plus the one in London. So technically 10 home games, including preseason, but we ship one out to London. Now you're doing it. It would have been would have been 11? No, it would have been 9 this year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is that right? No, would have had 2, would have had 10. It would have had 10 because you would have had 2 preseason and 8 at home, but you're shipping out 2, so now you're down to 8. Either way, supply and demand, prices are not going down, in my opinion. All right, let's take a timeout here. Come back. Tyrann Mathieu had an interesting clip that we came across on a podcast talking about crazy experience being interviewed at the Combine, and he related it to his time visiting with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll get into that when we return here in a moment. 641-1010. If you want to weigh in on anything Jacksonville Jaguar related, you're welcome to do that right here. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and RJ Saunders on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Wonder what Rick Ballou would be doing if he wasn't on 1010XL?
A hard-headed PI who'd rather break down a door than knock?
Rick Ballou.
Would you wear a hat and a trench coat, carry a .45, and drive a blue 66 Mustang?
Evenings on 1010XL.
Yes, that's it.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Jaguars Today, Thursday.
Brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Get geared up for your golf weekend with Dan, Jeff, and PGA pros on Brunch with the Tour.
Expect anything different?
Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation on Jacksonville's Golf Station. 1010XL.
Attention men and women, if you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Jacksonville, Nimnick Buick GMC is kicking off tax season with prices that are better than ever. Frank Frangie here. Are you looking for a dealership that actually makes car buying easy? Well, at Nimnick, you'll find unbeatable savings, a huge selection of Buicks and GMCs, plus flexible financing that fits your budget. Whether you're looking for a new SUV, a work-ready truck, or a certified pre-owned, they've got you covered. Backed by trusted service and transparent deals. And the best prices in Jacksonville. NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bank? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater Irrigation
and Drainage too.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, moving along here in hour number 2 of Jaguars Today. Coming up, a story from Tyrann Mathieu from when he was coming out of LSU about his weirdest NFL Combine interview, and it happened to be with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Have you heard the clip?
No.
All right, well, that'll be fun. We'll all listen along together. I have heard it one time. I think RJ has appropriately bleeped it in the right spots. No? Well, that's on you, okay?
I was going to let it ride out.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
As is.
I've enjoyed our time with you here
Absolutely,
as producer of Jaguars Today.
What a pleasure.
It's been a great time we've had. Before we get there, why don't we take a look around the rest of the NFL?
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
As we've already discussed on the show as it was happening, the New York Jets are sending defensive end Jermaine Johnson to the Tennessee Titans in exchange for defensive tackle Tavondre Sweat. The trade can't be processed until the new league year starts in 13 days. Tennessee has released center Lloyd Cushenberry with a failed physical designation. He recently underwent shoulder surgery but is expected to be ready for the 2026 season. Chicago has granted linebacker Tremaine Edmonds permission to seek a trade. Edmonds has 1 year at $17.4 million on the cap left there in Chicago. He will be entering his 9th season in the league. He just finished his 3rd there with the Bears after 5 with Buffalo, where he made a Pro Bowl in year 2 and 3 of his rookie deal. And Cleveland head coach Todd Monken followed up the Browns GM's comments on Tuesday, saying that the Browns will have an open quarterback competition between Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson there in Cleveland.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying him. He's 30.
Yep.
I mean, it's already, to me, distasteful that he's on your roster. But if I'm Todd Monken, I didn't put him there. I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't have control of the roster. I can't cut the guy. The cap hit is too odious. So, if you're the best quarterback we've got,
yep.
I mean, you're already on the team. If the team's not going to say, I'm going to make a moral stand and just eat the cap hit and move on from you, then I don't feel like, as the coach, you're obligated to bench Deshaun Watson just because he may be a vile human being.
He's got 1 more year on the contract there in Cleveland with a base salary of $46 million, a cap hit of $80.7 million, and a dead cap of $131.1.
Save your money, man. I don't see any more coming your way after that. Honestly, I mean, what that should be one of the guys that is just so toxic that you're not bringing him in. Now, watch him go out there and throw 22 touchdowns and 7 picks, right, this year. And even though that's not like explosive numbers, who knows, man? I'm I guess past the point where I'm going to be surprised when, who was it we were talking about? Was it Rashee Rice? Was it on this show? Might have been on Sirius XM. Somebody's like, man, whoever it was, never going to play again. I'm like, man.
No, that was Atlanta.
Was it Atlanta? Who was? Oh, with Pierce, right? Yeah. You think James Pierce not going to play again? I don't know. I think I would definitely be on the side of yes. Right now, NFL's too Machiavellian. Got to have those wins.
We'll see how the legal proceeding plays out.
No, you're right.
Like, I don't know what the league's going to do with any of it. I know if I was the league and he attacks a woman and then hits a cop with a car, I'd be like, all right, you're done. I would think the same thing. But there have been plenty of guys who've hit women and run afoul of the law in a variety of ways. And, they still have rights to a certain degree, and we'll see how it all plays out. I would still bet a nickel that James Pierce has not played his last game in the National Football League. So, Tyrann Mathieu goes on a podcast, In the Bayou pod. Okay, so obviously former LSU Tiger, makes sense, and was asked about his weirdest NFL Combine interview and said it was with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'd probably say one of the weirdest interviews I had was with the Jaguars. It's like 20 dudes in the room, right? It's just you by yourself. You ain't got no lawyer or nothing. This is you, like millions of dollars on the line. Right. But can I at least bring my mama with me? Right. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm sitting in there and I'm just like, what's next? Right. And dude sitting in front of me and literally didn't ask me anything, but was like, I want you to guess who's everybody is in the room. And I'm looking, I'm like, well, you sitting right in front of me. You must be important. You know what I mean? So right. You the guy. I'm like, who are you, the owner? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like one of my first interviews. I ain't know. Right. And so, I botched that part of it. I got all of them wrong. You know what I mean? Right. But yeah, that's sort of some of the tactics that they play with you, man.
I still would like to know who the guy was. I'm going to guess it was Dave Caldwell.
Right.
I don't know that. That was the first year of the Caldwell-Bradley regime, the Bradley-Caldwell regime for the Jags. Tony, I mean, do they really think, I get being prepared for an interview, right? You should know who the coach is. If you're a quarterback, you should know who the OC is. Yeah. And the quarterback's coach and a little bit about their personnel. Should I be expected to show up in a room with 20 dudes sitting around and go, you're the senior director of what? Like, what? I mean, is it a surprise that we got the Gus Bradley era when you hear, like, this was you get to a point, like, maybe you're bored after 8 or 9 years of doing these. Hey, let's watch this. Hey, man, name everybody in the room. Why did you think that was important?
Right.
Why do you think that had anything to do with Tyrann Mathieu translating to play for your team in the NFL?
If you don't ask the question, especially if he really did sit down and say, can I at least have a lawyer? Right.
Well, I think he was saying he was thinking that more than anything.
With 20 people around him. But if you go to it and your next thing that you do as the Jaguars representative and chuckle a little bit at how absurd what the position you're putting somebody in.
And by the way, why do you need all those guys in the room to talk to somebody, to try to intimidate them? I mean, it's just this whole psychological little game.
Yeah, what are you learning?
That you play. By the way, I was so wrong. I thought Tyrann Mathieu was too small, would never, amount to much in the NFL.
Is that long enough ago that Mathieu could have looked up and said, oh, yeah, that's Hingle McCringleberry, like just started pointing out fake names around the room?
I don't know. In 2013, would that have been?
I don't know.
I don't know. If and they would have been like, I got that one wrong. I mean, like, how serious was this quiz?
Right.
This is what you came up with? What a shocker.
Yeah.
No. What do you do here when the offense floods the formation over here and you got to deal with this 4-player stack? No. Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Who's this guy in our colors
stuck in his mind?
I guess.
Yeah.
Obvious stuck in his mind, not for a good reason, though.
Yeah.
As being the dumbest thing, circumstance and that he got. So here's to refresh your memories. Memory lane, how good that draft class was. We had 3 shots at Tyrann Mathieu, by the way. We took Luke Joeckel over Lane Johnson. Okay. Same position. Lane Johnson just about winding down now as one of the best offensive tackles in the league, right? Over the last decade plus.
That's a shot at the Hall of Fame.
He does. Luke Joeckel does not have as much of a shot, let's say. Jonathan Cyprien. Oh, Sip Squad, baby. Sip Squad. We love Sip Squad. Yeah. No. And don't think that they didn't have offers. That was pick 33. So overnight, they're sitting there. People are like, we want to get up and get player X. Nah, man. We're taking Jonathan Cyprien. I just pounded the table for him right there. So then instead of Tyrann Mathieu, Tony, I know Tyrann's a safety, but let's take cornerback Dwayne Gratz out of Connecticut. The other, right? No, not the bubblegum story. Yes. There was another. Didn't Connecticut have another corner at the time? I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't remember.
And we were looking at it in the draft process. Now, we're not experts, but we're like, oh, this guy from Connecticut's pretty interesting. And then they took the other one with the 64th pick. Tyrann Mathieu went 69. So you could have had him there instead of Dwayne Gratz. Tyrann Mathieu was, again, I didn't see it. I'm not paid to see it like that. You know what I mean? I'm not the decision maker. I would have whiffed on Tyrann Mathieu.
Weren't there some other off the field issues with him, while he was at LSU that made him drop? At first he was supposed to be one of the top guys.
Maybe
he was looked at as a top guy in college football.
Yeah, but he was 5'9", dude. Right. He was tiny. I think that was it's the honey badger. But you can what you can get away with in college, can you get away with that consistently in the NFL? Some guys can. Some guys defy the metrics. That's why they measure arm length, because 94% of effective defensive edge rushers have a wingspan of at least this. And you can be an outlier, but it's safer to swim in that same pool where you know that he fits in with what's come before.
Looking it up, Bleedy Ray Wilson.
Ray Wilson, that's who it was.
Yeah,
that's who it was.
Yeah,
and he ended up going later than Gratz.
Tennessee, 3rd round, 70th overall.
Okay, so they were close, and that was about the range. And I guarantee, because I remember there was another guy from UConn. Now, Bleedy Ray Wilson probably stunk too, right? So
yeah, he didn't do much.
We took the wrong guy out of 2 bad players.
He did play 9 years in the league.
Okay, that's better. Yeah. You would think. The Jags got Ace Sanders in that draft in 2013. That went well for them as well. Shoelace, Denard Robinson, that was exciting for a minute. in the 5th round. Josh Evans probably the best player they got out of this draft in round 6.
Yeah, he at least
hung
started
around for a while.
Yeah,
He was a solid NFL player, rotation player, not a starter. Jeremy Harris and Demetrius McCray, pair of 7th round cornerbacks for this football team. What a draft that was, man.
We have missed out on a lot of guys sometimes in these drafts.
But here's the thing. Ace Sanders, man, he got 17 of those 20 dudes. He's like, this guy is the equipment manager. This guy is the assistant linebackers coach. You're like, we got to take him.
Oh,
You
yeah,
kidding
no,
me?
he's the janitor. He's the guy. Yes.
Dwayne Grotz, you knew who that. I'm kidding. I have no idea if they even got asked that question. But, I mean, what a just a little slice of lunacy that is. Like, if that is the level of discourse, I'm glad James Gladstone's not there in Indianapolis. So it will keep. I would hope that the Jags aren't going, hey, man, here's the new 3 or 4 new coaches we've got on the staff. Who are they? Like, what do you think somebody's going to study? Seriously, like your whole front office, 32 teams front office, expect them to know who the coach is, who their coordinator, maybe their position coach. That's it. That's what you should expect. Now, if they're the quarterback and they're going to be the face of the franchise, have a little bit higher standard. But Tyrann Mathieu, see ball, go get ball. What do you need to know who the assistant secondary coach is? Well, maybe secondary you wouldn't. You get the idea.
Do you know how to spell Nat or not? Okay, this is serious business we're trying to conduct.
Correct. Is it with a G or do you use a K? What are we doing here?
Get this guy out of my office, man.
Kidding me. Well, maybe they think if you spell it with a K, they can save a little money on that second contract. It's maybe not the smartest negotiator here. I don't know. Anyway, I just found that amusing. I hope we are long past those days of being slapstick comedy, showing up and masquerading as competent NFL decision-making squads and the like. All right, we'll take a time out here. Come back 30 minutes to go if you want to get in. 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. We love winning, and 1010XL wants you to win our contests. We also like to share the winning. That's why we ask you to wait 30 days to win again so others get a chance to have the winning feeling. Find complete contest details at 1010XL.com.
Pickett here. Restore comfort and confidence with oculoplastic specialist Mary Kate Wilson, MD, at the Eye Associates, Jacksonville's expert in oculofacial plastic and reconstructive care. Dr. Wilson specializes in eyelid surgery, cosmetic and reconstructive procedures, and treatments, always with a personalized approach. Now seeing patients at the beaches, Southside, and St. John's locations. To schedule your consultation with Dr. Wilson, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
You're locked in to Jaguars Today Thursday with
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
Hey friends, Frank Frangie here. A new year is the perfect time to make sure your car is ready for the road ahead. And nothing gives you more confidence than a fresh set of tires from my friends at Big Chief Tire. I've trusted them for years. They take great care of me, and they'll take great care of you. Start 2026 with a smoother, safer ride. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today and let Big Chief get you rolling.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing the game. Spring and summer registration going on right now. Log on to i9sports.com to see all they've got to offer for kids ages 3 and up. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for spring and summer. Great new locations added like Tofoy Creek High School and Westside Middle. Get your kids in the game with I9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount at i9sports.com.
The Florida Forum welcomes world-renowned chef and humanitarian Jose Andres at the Center for Performing Arts March 31st. His impact spans the globe as founder of World Central Kitchen, Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, and global leader using food as a force for change. All proceeds for the Florida Forum benefit the Women's Board of Wilson Children's Hospital, supporting a new outdoor play area for behavioral health services. Get your tickets now at thefloridaforum.com.
Staying active no matter your age is key to living life at its fullest. Rebound Rehabilitation wants you to know they can get you back up to speed and back in the game pain-free. Rebound Rehabilitation with a dozen locations across the First Coast with top-of-the-line therapists ready to assist you. Neck and back pain, hip, knee, or foot pain, they can help. Excellent patient care combined with the highest quality and rehabilitation services. Look for a Rebound Rehab location near you and get back in the game. ReboundRehab.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, this one, Tony, just passing it along without too much commentary. I don't know if I can pass anything along without commentary. Andrew Filipponi is a guy who works for 93.7 The Fan up in Pittsburgh. Okay, covers the Steelers, and tweeted this out after we went on the air this morning. Just seeing it now. It's him speaking, not me. Okay, I'm just reading it. Quote, source, the Steelers have been in talks with the Jaguars about wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. Also, the two teams discussed a deal at last year's trade deadline. Thomas going into his third year, saw a big drop-off in production last year, blah, blah, blah. First reply from a guy named Lamar. Hello, Lamar. After it was just said that nobody in the Jags organization has said anything about trading him and not looking to trade him, and they don't let beep slip out like wanting to trade up to 2 last year, y'all go find yourself a wide receiver somewhere else. In other words, like they were able to keep, nobody can keep a secret. Well, the Jags kept the Travis Hunter secret pretty well locked in until it was too late for anybody to do anything about it. I don't know. I mean, look, there are two sides to it. It's not like if the Jags, let's give them the benefit of the doubt on this. And the Steelers have discussed this with the Jags. That could be Steelers called up. How available is he? Not really available. Well, they discussed a deal. Right.
Yeah.
And it was mostly negative from one side. That's one end of it. Or it could be, hey, what would it take? We'd be willing to offer you a third. Well, sorry, third's not in our market. Let us know when you're willing to go a first and a third, something like that. Okay, well, we discuss it. Whatever. Or it could be, you know what? We're willing to give a second and a fourth. They're holding out for a first and a seventh. I don't know if we can bridge a gap, something like that. But either way, whatever the discussion was, if there was a discussion, I have no idea if there was a discussion or not. It's not, there are two sides to the leaking here, right?
Yeah.
So, does somebody have a source go, yeah, we checked in on Brian Thomas Jr.?
We've seen multiple national reporters that have put out something like that, right? That teams are reaching out to the Jags about the potential availability of Brian Thomas Jr. Yes. And virtually all of them at least have the story straight enough to say, the Jags aren't shopping Brian Thomas Jr.
Right. Teams may call and check the pulse.
Right. And I'm looking at the X here from Filipino, and one of the first responses is from a guy named Robert who says, I'm a Jaguar fan in Pittsburgh. I watch the Jags flagship station on YouTube every day. Have not once heard about him getting traded to the Steelers. Like, it's not a story that's out there, that they're shopping him at all. Like, there's a little bit of noise that teams may be reaching out to see if the Jags would be willing to move Brian Thomas Jr. at some point in this offseason, but it's not like they're looking for trade partners. We ask the questions we do even here locally about Brian Thomas Jr. because we know there's enough interest in a player with the potential of a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. that teams that have a clear need at wide receiver, why wouldn't they at least call to see?
Sure.
What would it take to get Brian?
And it depends on what your evaluation of him was compared to this class, and if you think, let's say you have the 45th pick. I have no idea who has the 45th pick. Okay, so I'm not trying to pin this on a certain team.
Sure.
You have the 45th pick. You go, you know what? We don't think anybody who's going to be available at 45 is going to be as good as Brian Thomas Jr. Then you'd be willing to offer the 45th pick, maybe. He has less time on his contract and all that, but you get the idea. Or we pick 45. We think there are going to be 2 or 3 receivers we'd like just as much as Brian Thomas. We're going to get him cheaper just by sitting there and taking him. Why would we give up something? So it's really, I have no idea what teams think about Brian Thomas. I'm sure some like him. Some think he's a devalued asset right now that they'd like to get in on. Others might think that maybe he got exposed to some degree after being force-fed the football as a rookie.
I'm just trying to figure out what is the obsession with Jacksonville with Pittsburgh, because wasn't there a report out there from, I don't know if it was from Andrew Filipponi or if it was someone who does TV there in Pittsburgh.
Called him the Filipino, which I thought he may be a Filipino. I don't know.
Maybe, don't know. But wasn't there a report out there that they said, oh, yeah, like the Steelers and the Jags are discussing a trade surrounding Trevor Lawrence? Wasn't that something like last year or 2 years ago? Right. But they were saying, hey, the reports are out there that, hey, there's a discussion being had about Trevor Lawrence and potentially he being the next quarterback here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's possible. Who knows? People throw garbage. And I mean, in that case, that would have been garbage. People throw garbage against the wall all the time. Yeah. And look, I can't speak for this guy. I don't know. I know this too. You can't always go by Twitter's impression of a guy. Who knows what Twitter would say about any of our local reporters, right? They'd love some, might not love others. It would depend on who replied and what they say about you, Tony, or me, or anybody else here at 1010XL or whatever the case may be. I know I've seen people go, oh, Filipponi's got the fewest sources of any. This guy makes stuff up. But I see that about almost literally every NFL reporter to some degree on social media. So that's not necessarily a good gauge of, what's accurate or not. And again, the range of what that could mean is wide. But if that kind of stuff bothers you, stay off social media right now because there's going to be a bunch of this
sure.
in the next couple weeks in particular. With free agency coming, with the combine going on, that's where the rumor mill really gets kind of churned up there in Indianapolis, as we've already seen a trade agreed to today. And again, by the way, that one, and it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. The general reaction is that the Titans are getting taken to the woodshed on this trade with the New York Jets because you got a guy who graded out as a top 5 defensive tackle who's very young. It's a hard position to fill. You're getting a guy who's had an injury history. He's older, and his peak season was 7.5 sacks under you. So who knows? But then again, Devondre Sweat, I think, had his own off-the-field stuff. Who knows? Maybe behind the scenes, it's addition by subtraction. I have no idea.
No.
None of us generally do as far as that goes. I just know this. Devondre Sweat, you can now go on and fulfill your full potential. Jermaine Johnson, your best days are long behind you, as at least that's what we hope as he moves on to Nashville. All right, let's come back and look at a few reactions today to the question of the day. Also, didn't really look at the closing numbers on the poll yesterday, so we may squeeze that in in terms of rules changes that were adopted by the UFL that people would like to see the NFL consider. One segment to go. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and if you check out their showroom in the month of March, you're going to see some really cool rides.
We do. We've got this all-new Euro motorcycle going to be on display one day. We're having some demos. go. The next day, here with Sullivan, she's got some more detail.
March 11th, come down to Cycles of Jacksonville. We'll have the static day where you can see all of the machines. And then March 12th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we have demo rides. Come test drive your new Ural.
These things are cool. I've never seen it yet. All new Ural motorcycles. You're not going to want to miss it.
Check out Cycles of Jacksonville Facebook and Instagram.
Jaguars Today Thursday, brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Something new is swinging into town, and you're invited. Pine Royale Golf is celebrating its grand opening, February 27th from 11 to 3. Come tour the property, enjoy free limited play on the Trackman driving range, plus giveaways, contests, and free snacks. Dress in your best funky golf style for photos and prizes. Take a shot at the $500 hole-in-one challenge. It's golf, games, and good vibes. Search Pine Royale Callahan to learn more.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years' experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
This is the kind of sandwich you don't rush. French dip at Firehouse Subs. Premium roast beef loaded with caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and topped with Italian seasoning. Stacked on a toasted garlic bread roll with hot au jus for dipping. For a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trusted company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs, or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. Hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Here's a little secret to why I've been married for over 25 years. Kuhn Flowers. High Flying Jacko here. Yeah, that's correct. When I need to send some love to my bride, I don't wait for an anniversary or her birthday. I just simply go to kuhnflowers.com.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
It's Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you to stay ahead of prostate, bladder, and kidney health. Get a yearly checkup, ask about a screening, and make self-checks a habit. To make an appointment at one of 4 locations, visit ackermanurology.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, everybody repping a team today. None of them the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tony Smith going to Vandy, across the board, all Vandy sports, particularly curling. I went with the New York Yankees today, and RJ going with his favorite team, the Orlando Magic. So there
Play
you
the
have
song.
it. There you have it. All right. So in this thread, now I'm fixated on the thread on the Steelers discussing a deal in talks. Have been in talks makes it seem like a summit. Like, let's sit down. All right, you know what? Let's negotiate for an hour. We'll break for lunch. We'll come back. We'll sit down and see if we can't move this across the goal line. That seems more formal, but whatever. Couple of Steeler fans in the replies basically.
Oh, this will be rational.
Well, unless we can get it for like a third, forget it. Okay, and a couple of them are like that, like 3rd round pick, sure, nothing higher. Okay, and that's fine from their perspective. That's
then you
how
don't
they
want
feel.
Brian Thomas Jr.
You don't
that's
want
okay.
him. He's not coming to you. But somebody, and I wish I'd saved it, and I'll try my best to paraphrase it. Somebody said that, the combine, which brings basically the season, the SZN season, which just irks me to no end. But anyway, it's what season is it? It's I will send our lowest pick in the draft for your best player season trade. Like everyone, yeah, man, why don't we send a fifth to this team for so-and-so?
Yeah.
We call that Adam Thielen season on Jaguars Today, as someone infamously called us up in the midst of Thielen in a record-setting run of 100-yard games to begin a season. I think he had been hit like 7 in a row at that point. And I got an idea for the Jags to solve our wide receiver problem. Let's just get Thielen for the Vikings.
He was only the hottest wide receiver in the league.
Sure, why not? Let's get Puka, too.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Puka in here if we can, and JSN as well.
Yeah.
And, forget about what we got to give to get them.
It's that time of year.
No, we don't want to give a lot, so they should want to make our team better.
It's combine time. Free agency starts in a couple weeks. The Jags signed, if I can remember correctly, Calvin Ridley about 5 times before he actually signed with Tennessee.
Yes, they did.
Right? Like all these things, everything is fluid in the National Football League. And look, you have ways to express your opinion however you want to express it, but you can figure out people that are worth listening to and not based on the bad opinions you put out there. It's like, oh, then I don't need to listen to you. Right? Like you put the target on your own head of, if you're going to put bad information out, you're easy to ignore. In a world with a bunch of noise, you make it a little bit quieter because I can just not hear your voice anymore.
And I've gotten to the point now on social media. I don't care how many people follow your account or not. It could be 2, it could be 200,000. Right? If you tweet something and I click and go, that seems interesting. And at any point you go, oh, well, how did anyone not know I was kidding about this? Like, I don't have time to mess around. It's not even that I'm mad. I just don't. I don't need to be wasting my time. You're trying to get me to click on something that is not true, and you're faulting me for not seeing through the lie.
If the game they're playing is to get somebody on it, then okay, now I recognize your game. I'm not going to risk it and got anymore.
Instant
We're
block.
done.
All right, here's what we got yesterday, Tony. Maybe we'll dig into this more with McManus. 60-yard field goals worth 4 points, won the poll. We expected that too with Cam Little on the squad. A few of the reactions today to the Jaguars playing 2 home games, I thought they're very, Doom said, okay, fine. Let's see. Stacy said, honestly, since I've yet to make the leap into the season ticket market, I really like the one in games. As I get up in the morning, the games are in the book, so I can try to be productive the rest of the day. All right. Carlton said, why not? There'll be reduced revenue the next 2 seasons due to stadium renovation. A lot of people taking the kind of the Jaguar, like, I get it. It's not ideal, but I understand the circumstances, and let's have all the mess happening right now, with the reduced capacity, ongoing construction, playing more games in London, and by the time 2028 rolls around, let's hit the ground running in a brand new feeling facility and not look back. And let's hope we all get to that point. But I thought people today in the reactions, and I've read a bunch of them, are pretty reasonable about it. Not too much fist pounding about the situation. If you feel that way, you're welcome to share your thoughts with us on a later show because we are out of time. Let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Big Sirs.
What up, gentlemen?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
All right. What's going on, man? You tell us. Combine,
Yeah, combine. Mostly combine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, I don't know if you heard the story Tyrann Mathieu said 2013 when he came out. They asked him, what's the kind of crazy combine story? He was on a podcast. He said, I'll tell you, I met with the Jags in 2013. I walk in there like 20 dudes in the room. You can't even have anybody with you. He goes, I'm talking millions of bucks. I'm a lawyer. I can't even have my mom. It's just me and like 20 guys. And the guy sitting across from me goes, okay, we want you to name all the people in the room.
What?
Exactly. Like, what is that? Like,
What does that even mean?
This was the Dave Caldwell, Gus Bradley first NFL scouting combine.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious. And he goes, I don't know. You're sitting across from me. You must be important. Are you the owner? And I'm like, do you expect Tyrann Mathieu to study your personnel guide and know who all the assistant coaches and scouts are by face? Come on,
That's
man.
ridiculous.
That's
Absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, and you
wonder why we struggle.
Right, and I read through that year's draft class, sirs. And by the way, we took Dwayne Grotz 4 picks ahead of Tyrann Mathieu, so that worked out well. You know, member of the all 2010s team, Tyrann Mathieu. I was wrong about him. Thought he was too small, but for goodness sakes, man.
Jeez.
You know, that's
he's correct about being in the middle and a bunch of scouts around you, but
they're trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I get it, but
all they asked me to do is go on the whiteboard and draw up stuff.
When you went in, I think it would be reasonable to say, all right, Leon, who's the defensive coordinator of our team and what do we run? You know, like I would expect you to know a little bit about what you need to know.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't have to worry about who the assistant wide receivers coach is in that case.
Exactly.
Anyway, have a great show today.
Appreciate it, bro.
We'll be listening, man. I like that golf shirt, too. Big search. Check him out on YouTube, on X, on Facebook as we stream them live here on 1010XL. Thanks to D-Rock for stopping by. Mike DiRocco of ESPN fame. Tom McManus will join us in studio tomorrow, and we'll run it back again for Tony Smith and RJ Saunders. I'm Mike Dempsey. Thank you for listening to Jaguars Today, and keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.